Psalms chapter 7 and verse 15. It reads, "He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made." Psalms 9 and 15. "The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken." Call halal Bashmi Mashiach Yahushai, Ruha Rukakudash. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles, and the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. Quick article, few precepts, and we're in the video. International source. It reads, "Confidence in the United States military at a 2-decade low." Read that again. Confidence in the United States military at a 2-decade low. Support for the armed forces has pummeled since President Joe Biden took office. Okay. Read that again. Support for the armed forces has, the correction is plummeted since President Joe Biden took office. Okay. Well, this is what happened when you lock down and cause your own troops to quit, cause the law enforcement to resign. You have crime throughout America. I mean, what'd you expect? We're going to read on. It says, "Fewer Americans are confident in their military than at any point since 1997, according to a Gallup poll published on Monday. With the trust in the armed forces dropping 10 points in the last 2 years, the services are currently grappling with historic recruitment crisis." And who in their right mind would want to join this military? Slovakia, it's a freak show. That's not a military, and all the world is laughing at America under this administration. Okay, I won't even get into the logist. I'll be nice. I'm going to be very friendly. I won't go there, but it is the biggest comedy show of all time. This administration, the direction of Babylon the Great, it's going to fall. Okay. Slovakia, it's going to burn away. Let's read on. Conducted in June, the poll found 60% of respondents expressing a great deal of quite a lot of confidence in the military, down from 64% last year. Public confidence in the military last dipped to 60% in 1997 and has not been lower since 1988. When it sat at 58%. Public support for the United States services soared following the 9/11 attacks in 2001, with the armed forces enjoying 82% approval when President George W. Bush invaded Iraq in 2003. While the surge of post-9/11 patriotism receded as the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan dragged on, approval sat in the mid-70s until 2020, when it began to steadily decline year after year. Okay, and we all remember with the whole reopening. I just said it. They reopened, and what did Creepy Joe enforce? Poison. Y'all know where I'm going. And I won't even get into all these so-called Slovakia. They were forcing Maxine on the masses. And look what happened to those that took on Maxine. Okay. You still have breakthrough cases till this day. Right? And this is why I cry out to Israelites chiefly Israelites in the world, to just keep these commandments and pray you're on the right hand side of the deliverance. Okay? The current administration relationship with China is going to cost America. If they were successful putting malware in certain United States bases when it comes to the military and national security for so-called American citizens, this place is going to suddenly be hit with something they can't begin to comprehend. You can see the judgments get worse and worse for America. Let's read on. Republicans are traditionally more likely to back the military than Democrats. However, confidence has plummeted from 91% in 2020 to 68% today. Republican politicians and pundits have been some of the Pentagon's fierce critics since Biden took office in 2021 and have lambasted the military for its vaccine mandates, there it is, and its embrace of woke politics, joke politics, exemplified by its provisions of sex reassignment, surgery to transgender troops, its teaching of critical race theory, and its efforts to scrap gendered language in the barracks. Like I said, a total freak show. Biden's withdrawal from Afghan in August 2021, which saw 13 U.S. troops killed in a suicide bombing, and tens of billions of dollars worth U.S. equipment fall into the Taliban hands, also earned scathing condemnation from both sides of the political spectrum. With public support failing, the armed forces are struggling to fill their ranks. Leaders from the Army and Navy, Air Force told congressional hearing in March that they all expect to fall short of their recruitment targets this year, after the Army experienced its worst year for recruitment last year since the abolition of the draft in 1973. Okay. Of the 17 to 24-year-olds typically targeted by military recruiters, 80% are physically unfit for service due to obesity, drug use, or poor mental health, according to a Pentagon study published in March. Furthermore, only 9% of this age group are interested in joining in the first place, Army Secretary Christine Wormuth told CNBC News in October. That's the end of this article, and you can't make it up. America is being judged. It's no longer a powerhouse. Now, contrary to popular belief, financially it's still a powerhouse. Okay? Contrary to popular belief, New York State alone, New York City, you do your own research on how much wealth is growth right here on the East Coast. Okay? Do the research. I hit you with something. All you have to do is check the Lincoln Tunnel, the GW Bridge, all those bridges within the boroughs. Just the tolls alone. I'll make it easy for you. Just go online and see how much the 18-wheelers pay when they cross the toll. And just do the math. I'll give you 3 months. Just that number alone is going to blow your mind. I didn't even mention Wall Street. Okay? The stock market. So when they tell you recession, depression, it's BS. Contrary to popular belief, this is a very wealthy nation still. But it's military, okay, due to the Ukraine crisis, they're not really prepared for war. Okay? And you can't have confidence in Babylon the Great because it's being judged, right? Let's get a few precepts and end it. Yeah, so the future for the United States of America is very bleak. Okay. Let's read. We're going to read this one. Psalms 35 and verse 7. It reads, "For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul." And that's really dealing with Israel right there. Mainly Israelites in the world. Because the children of Israel that's lost and confused in the ways of America, they're ignorant to what's happening around them. The stage is being set for total destruction of America and its entire foundation. You have BlackRock. You have the Soros. You have all these umbrellas that's banking on what's left of Russia, Ukraine, but now you have the build-up with China, which has been an ongoing build-up for quite some time. You have that. You have North Korea. You have Assyria. Okay, you have Iran and Israel. You have these conditions. One's bound to overload, and it's going to set off the judgment. Okay, and America don't have hypersonic technology. I mean, correction, they have it. Okay, they have it, but it's not on the level as China and Russia. And they have never proven it either. You could go to military.com. You could go to those war pages, and they tell you they just hadn't been successful. And I brought those out in videos past. They are behind Russia and China and North Korea when it comes to hypersonic technology. They're behind. So what you think is going to happen to America? It's going to be caught slipping and fall in a pit, or a damn pit of fire. And a multitude of people is going to perish in this pending judgment day. Okay? So you have to repent and keep the commandments. And if you're new, or if you're inquiring salvation, the only way for salvation into Zion is to keep the commandments of the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's it. Not the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party, not the Independent Party. You have to keep the commandments and fear the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if you can't do that, you walk in charcoal and you're going to be turned to ashes. Right? Get some more precepts and I'm going to end it. Proverbs 28 and 10. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. That's plain, man. You know what that's going into? Keeping the commandments. There's no other way in these last days. Either keep the commandments or die. Because Christ, Hamashiach, Yahushai, they're going to send the judgment. Okay? Father will send the judgment. Right? So you must keep these commandments. Them evil angels. There's an account in Proverbs. Them evil angels. They're going to come down and do the Lord's bidding. Isaiah 45 and 7. Roughly paraphrasing, the Most High create good and evil. Read it for yourself. That's the Isaiah 45:7 account. Not some red guy with a pitchfork with two horns and a tail. Some damn God of War video game, man. So y'all have to keep these commandments or you'll be judged and destroyed. Read that again. Proverbs 28:10. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. Yeah, that's going into keeping these commandments. And if you don't keep the commandments, gonna fall into a pit of judgment, right? See if there's any more. See if there's any more. Let's get the judgment here. We're going to read it in Isaiah 24:18. It says, and it shall come to pass that who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. And that's parabolic to that missile coming down. So there's no escape, especially if you fall out this truth. Okay, it's not worth it. It's common sense. America is falling. This place is crashing. It won't crash completely, but when the judgment come, that's it. It will be a done deal, and 2 parts of our people gonna perish. Okay, because they fail to repent and keep the commandments, and they took on the wickedness of Babylon the Great, aka America. And there's a price to pay, your soul, and it'll be forever tormented. So you have to keep the commandments. Okay. See if there's any more. I'm coming, y'all. Isaiah 38:17. Behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption, for thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. And that's symbolic and parabolic to salvation. I'm going to read again. Isaiah 38:17. Behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption, for thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. And that's going into being chosen. That's going into being either the remnant body or the 144,000. We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it, Slakia, one last time. Isaiah 38:17. Behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption, for thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. All praise to the Most High. And with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Double honors to mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. We got next. Shalom.